First things first is that going through a breakup sucks. And every single man out here, no matter what they say, understands how bad it is to go through a breakup and understands what heartbreak's like. It's difficult, it's not easy. But once you realize she's gone, if you control your mind, she's gone now. She's gone now, gonna miss her. That's a shame. Off to the gym. You either control your mind or you don't. All of these things stem from the same problem. It's something you can do. It's something that is learned. It's something that is taught. But it's something that I needed to survive. So for me, it's easy, right? It's all I've ever known. Right. But people have life now. They don't need it to survive, so they never develop the skill. The unfortunate reality is that chasing her and being dedicated to her and saying you're going to do whatever she wants, etc., is very unlikely to work. And you have to look at the scenario you're in, look at the chessboard, and make the best possible move. When you're truly heartbroken, you can't even sleep, and your mind is constantly preoccupied. And instead of seeing that as a negative, what you need to do is use that as a source of unlimited power. If I was truly heartbroken today, let's imagine, and I could barely sleep, I'd be in better shape than I've ever been. I'd train like a fucking animal. You have to just take the energy inside of you. Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be converted, whether it's heat into light or the momentum into friction or however you want to put it, right? Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be converted from one form to another. And you have to look at that and understand that the sadness inside of you is energy. You can't destroy it, but you can convert it into something else which is constructive. And you're just gonna have to suck it up, buttercup, and get over it. If you are struggling with motivation to become a better person, then guess what? Stay a fucking loser, because there are men out there who do not suffer from this motivational problem. There's men who wake up and they want to be important and they will do anything it takes to become important. And if you're the kind of person who wakes up and says, I cannot find the gumption inside of myself to become an important and influential man, I need motivation to do that, then you are a born loser. If you were with a woman and you lost her and you're now lonely and she's going to be moving on and you're absolutely utterly heartbroken and you're destroyed inside, I understand how difficult that is. But now you have genuine sadness inside of you, which is unlimited motivation for you to become a fucking beast, become an animal. And by the time you're finished becoming an animal, you won't care anymore. So if you really want to cure yourself, you say, I'm going to get a six-pack and I'm going to get bigger arms. And by the time my arms are this size and I have a six-pack, then I'm going to think about that bitch. And you'll realize you don't give a shit about her anymore. On some level, everyone's replaceable. No matter how in love you are with a woman and you break up with them and you feel like you'll never get over them, yeah, you will. You know you will. And you'll find someone else who's quite different, but has things you like more than you liked the one before. And you do get to a certain point where you realize that no one can break you if they leave, because someone else will come and it will be fine.
What does heartbreak teach you?
Well, heartbreak teaches you primarily, I think as a man, heartbreak is designed to teach you your inadequacies. Because you do get to a certain echelon as a man where women will never leave you. That does exist. There is this magical land you get to where a woman can be like, I hate you so much and all you do is cheat on me and you never even see me and I hate you so much, I love you. Because there's nowhere else to go because they don't want to go down. So at the top of the mountain, it's very difficult for them to degrade. They get there and you do get to that level. I think heartbreak is designed to teach you lessons. I think everything bad that happens to you as a man is designed to teach you lessons. I think that's why God gives them to you. You're never going to be a good man unless you've suffered. Good men have been through a lot of bad things, and you have to realize why she left or why your heart is broken so that you can change certain things and grow. So if you self-analyze everything, then everything happens for the same reason. No matter what bad thing happens to you, including heartbreak, it all happens for the same reason, for you to analyze and get feedback. If you're a weak man and you're going through life and you don't have the strength and resilience to resist the trials and tribulations of being a man, and you're constantly hurt by everything, and you're constantly upset and depressed and sad because you're weak, how could you possibly do good? To do good, you have to be a good person to begin with, and to be a good person, you're virtuous and you've gone through a lot of things that made you strong. But I also think that relationships between men and women are such a large part of being a man and the male experience. And I also think that nearly every man, no matter who you are, whether all of us sitting here or everyone watching at home, has had a fairly similar life path. We've all grown up, fell in love with that bitch in school. She wouldn't fuck, she fucked someone else, fell in love with her first girlfriend, she cheated, heartbroken, whatever. We've all had a similar story, right? So we all have an affinity to it. And I think that your relationship with women as a man is one of the most important things you're going to go through in your life. If you look at a man who's truly content and truly happy, he has a good relationship with women. And if you ever look at a man who's miserable, he might have all the money in the world, but his wife doesn't like him and he's miserable anyway. It's such an important part of the masculine experience. It's hard to talk about positivity and masculine values and how to approach life and never mention relationships with women ever. So can you have enough balls to just say bye and at least leave with your head held high? But This is another thing, man. It's crazy. These men have never been through any kind of emotional trauma. So the idea of breaking up with a woman is big to them. When you've been through real shit, a breakup just doesn't become that real anymore. You know, I've had people try to kill me. I have stab wounds. Tell me again about this girl who doesn't text you back. Like, who gives a shit? You have to get some perspective and just realize you're being like, there's real trauma out here in the world. Terrible things happen day after day. And here you are, alive and breathing and perfectly healthy. And you're gonna cry over some bitch? Man up.
I really don't believe no one else is going to make your life fantastic but you. You have to be all about you. And so many of these guys who get hurt, because I really believe guys get hurt more than women nowadays. This idea that men hurt women and break women's hearts. Okay, maybe I've broken a few. But besides the elite players like me, most of the time it's the women fucking the guys over. I really believe that. And a lot of the times they're getting screwed up is because they've tied their identity so intricately with this girl that they've lost their sense of self. You lose your sense of self, you can't have self-respect. And that's why she doesn't respect you anyway, and that's why it's all going downhill, and that's why you lose her and you panic and blah, blah, blah. You've got to be about yourself first. She has to be a compliment. So I've had my heart broken in regards to, I've had times women have left and I've really, really missed her. But I have never texted her first, ever.
And I think that a lot of things, a lot of men's mental health, a lot of crises can actually just come back to the old adages of honor. And you can fix a lot of it. Your girl left you, you miss her. I get it. We've all been heartbroken. She's with a new guy. You're upset. She doesn't care. You care. I get all of it. But there has to be a point where you get to a level of pride and you just go, that's not who I am. I lost her. That's life. You just got to get on with it. And the best way is to have, where do you find the strength when you're in these difficult situations? I always find the strength from my last name. I'm Andrew Tate. So I just have to do it. I'm in a Romanian jail cell. I wake up, there's cockroaches in my bed. They're all over my face. What am I going to do? Cry? Am I bitch out? Am I going to go and sign a piece of paper and say I'm guilty? I'm going to sell my brother out? Is that what I'm going to do? Am I going to go fucking lie and put these and sell the girls out like they want me to? Am I going to stand up and say I'm sorry for saying go to the gym like a pussy? No, I'm going to take the cockroaches off my mouth. I'm going to do some push-ups because I'm Andrew Tate. When shit really gets hard, honor and courage and bravery and your last name is all you've ever had. It's all you're going to have. And it used to be like that in the olden days. That's why no one did this dumb shit. They were just too embarrassed to even do it.
Men only learn the hard way. And I guess you can speed things up if you try and learn the easy way. But sooner or later, hard things are going to happen anyway. God's going to make sure. So you're never going to be able to avoid that car crash one way or another. Something's going to happen and it's going to hit you. And then it's your chance to prove to God you are the person you say you are, and to just be cerebral enough about things to understand that everything comes to an end one day unless you die. And if you die, then it doesn't matter anymore. They can throw you in solitary confinement. It's going to end one day or you're going to die. And when you die, it doesn't matter anymore. So there's no point in being completely distraught about it. You have to find the joy in the crack in the sunlight through the roof, and that's life. What else can you do?
What did you do with the pain of the heartbreak?
I did the same thing I do if my heart wasn't broken. I got up, I went in the gym, I lifted a bunch of weights, I got in my fast car, I drove down the road looking sexy as fuck, bought a Starbucks, and made some money. It doesn't matter. How I feel has no bearing on how I live my life. It means I've lost women who I didn't want to lose, but I let them go. I didn't beg for them back. I didn't cry about it. I just let them leave. I did it like, I handled it like a man. I get called a sociopath all the time and a psychopath all the time. I get called that, but I don't think people understand that there is a version of the world where you can feel things and really not give a fuck how you feel. If I feel sad, it does not change how I act, and it does not change the things I do. If I don't feel like going to the gym, I go to the gym. If I don't feel like working, I will still work. I lived in a world for 15 years where I didn't feel like fighting because my nose was broken, but I had to fight anyway. So a lot of these people come to me and they say, oh, but I feel this way. I don't put a huge amount of importance on emotions. It's not that I don't feel them. It's that I don't think they have much to do with anything at all. If I wake up in a happy mood and I have a business to run and females to cater for and things to do, if I wake up in a sad mood, I have the same shit to do. I'm going to get it done. So where's the importance of it? In my mind, that's how I view it. Like, how does it affect what I'm going to do? Well, nothing. It doesn't. It's not going to affect how I live my life. So why sit around and think about it? This modern obsession with happiness is the number one problem with the world. Because I really don't believe humans were ever evolved to be happy. Were we? Where? Tell me. You're the expert, bro. Where did it come? Where did it come in our timeline that we were supposed to be happy all the time?
Has your heart ever been broken?
Completely. Everybody's heart's been broken. Every single man, every single woman has been through a period where they wanted someone back who didn't want them. Difference between me and everyone else is I never let my pride or my dignity go out the window for it. That's the big problem with a lot of this heartbreak stuff. It's not that you're feeling heartbroken is bad. That's natural part of the human experience. You just can't sacrifice your dignity for it. I did what I was taught to do, which is perform. That's what I was taught to do. I was upset, obviously. I was sad, obviously. I was heartbroken, of course. But I took all of that energy and I worked harder than I've ever worked. I worked 22-hour days for months because I couldn't sleep. And I became one of the most successful people on the planet. God has given me an endless source of power. And when people come to me and say, oh, this happened, I'm really sad, or my heart broke, or this bad thing happened to me, I say, good. Thank the Lord that he's given you this endless source of motivation. You're wasting it. That's your problem. But it's been given to you. You just have to use it in the correct way. So I'm the luckiest man in the world because All the bad things that happened to me have given me all the building blocks to become the most fantastic man on the face of the planet. I think we're here to struggle. I think we're here to endure pain. I think we're here to just see how hard we are to kill. I think that going through terrible things and living through them and coming out the other side is one of the most fantastic things about being human. I think that it's almost like once you understand what life is really about, there's no emotion which isn't enjoyable. The only emotional state which can be seen as detrimental is feeling nothing at all. But if you're sitting at home and you're feeling truly heartbroken, at least you're feeling something, right? And I think that's the whole part of being human. I think we're here to struggle. I think we're here to go through pain. That's so I wake up each day and go, what can I attack? What problem can I solve?
The greatest and worst thing about being a man is that all of your value is built. If you're a woman, you're born beautiful, game's over. You're born pretty, that's it, it's done. You have your value. Now you have 6 or 7 years, you're valuable. You could be a moron, you're still on a billionaire's boat because you're hot. Done. As a man, it doesn't matter if you're born good looking. If you're stupid and weak and broke, you're still gonna struggle. It doesn't matter if you're born rich. As a man, you need to have it all. You need to have wisdom, you need to be funny, you need to be tall. Well, tall is one thing you can't fix. Strong, good looking helps. They like the idea of you being able to fight. You need interesting stories, you need money, you need freedom to be able to say to a girl, fuck it, we're going to Moscow, pack now. You need all these things. And a lot of that is self-built, not all of it, but a lot of it is. So when I speak to ordinary people, I say, well, how are you trying to stop yourself from being ordinary? And a lot of them aren't. Well, then what the fuck? You're going to live an ordinary life. You have ordinary results. I couldn't tolerate that.
If a man has options over a long enough time frame, he's going to eventually probably explore one of them options. Now, I'm not saying he's going to love another woman. I'm saying that when a man's in love, he only loves one girl. I agree with that. I believe in love. I believe a man cares about a chick. I believe a man should take care of a woman. I believe he should come home to the same place every day. I believe all those things. However, I think if a man truly has options, truly, that both the man and the woman understand that at some point he's going to explore those options. I would completely understand a woman who said, I won't date broke men. But a woman who were to sit here and say, I want X money, I'd already get fucked. So it's a balance, right? I understand why a woman wouldn't want to date a man with no money, but I also would never allow a girl to treat me like a sugar daddy.
All of it comes down to the fact that, especially with men, none of them are bestowed with the things that the masculine essence needs to be a good man. You need pride, you need honor, you need a healthy level of ego, you need all of these things. We're taking it all from boys, and what are we giving them instead? Video games, porn, weed, and what do you expect of these people? What do you expect of these shit versions of men besides trash output? You're gonna get garbage of all across the spectrum. Either they're gonna do nothing or they're gonna do something bad. They're certainly not gonna do anything good when they don't try for anything in their lives. How are they gonna do something good? The scary thing about all of this is that there still are two teams in the world. And there is a side of the world where they don't accept this crap. Best mental model is God wants me to learn something here. And he's gonna teach me that through suffering. He's gonna make this difficult and he's gonna make me feel pain. And he's going to make this as hard as he decides it needs to be so that I can sit here and learn things. So I'm going to go and sit with my cockroach friends and I'm going to learn. For the people who are going to be offended by all the things I said and say I'm horrible, right? Because I understand that some of the things I said are going to be offensive to others. You also have to understand what you just said about first woman, first man together forever. That's beautiful. Yeah. That's the ideal scenario, but it's gone. The reason your mother was probably such a fantastic partner to your father is because she respected her dad, and then she got passed to your father, and then she respected your father, and they're together, right? There was masculine role models. All that's vanished. So when people sit and say, when I say things like, yeah, a man can have different girls or we can have different girlfriends, etc., and people say, oh, you're misogynistic. I'm giving the best advice I possibly know to men, because I'm telling you, if you're a man out here who's not going to mess around with girls, not get any experience with women, not get experience with how they work, find one girl and instantly fall in love with her, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get fucking wrecked. You are. The man who just meets a chick, has no experience with girls, isn't really good at getting new ones. They're the ones who end up sitting lonely at 42, divorced by them fucking selves. Every single one of them. The only chance you have as a man now is being versed enough in the game and having enough experience with women to not get played. These women are sharks, G. You gotta be careful. I'm saying these things.
Oh, he's right.
You know what? You can't be a man with no experience out here and just meeting your first chick and falling in love. Because 99% of the time, it's gonna go wrong for the man.
People, sometimes in life, they don't work out, and that's just how life is, bro. You gotta understand and respect that. You know what I mean?
That's what girls say when they're fucking someone else. People outgrow each other. It's not you, it's me. You know what? You're a really good friend. I don't see you that way. Once they have a new cock to gobble on, that's usually what happens. So who does she fuck? Do you know yet? Did you even find out?
No, I don't think she is fucking anyone.
Oh yeah, she left you to be by herself. She left you because she just really wanted to sit at home by herself, not to run around with some other dude. You're totally right. She's a good person. She's different than all the rest. Completely agree. She ain't fucking nobody.
Don't worry, you can sleep just fine at night. Maybe you should text her when you're lonely. Send her a text. She might text back this time. She's definitely not with some dude. You know all those other times she didn't reply? She was tired. She was asleep. Don't worry about it. This time she might text back. Miss you too. Wish we could have worked out.
How was your first love? I feel like you got your heart broken. You said that, right, once?
No, everyone's had their heart broken. It's not about
Yeah,
that.
no, definitely.
Everyone's had their heart broken, bro. It's
Yeah,
not,
definitely.
It's not about that. I'm saying that when men come along and ask for relationship advice to me,
Yeah.
I'm like, and if you want to be good at something, you need experience. BJJ, driving, keeping a woman happy. The men I can keep a woman happier than anyone because I've had a bunch of women. If I didn't have a bunch of women, I don't think I could keep a woman happy the same. I really don't believe that. If you even asked, I'll argue something else. I don't know if it's true or not. If you asked a man if he wants a virgin, he'll say yes. If you ask a woman if she wants a virgin man, she'll be like, no. If you're going to be a man and say, for the sake of love, I want to forego all of my own experiences and be less competent in the battlefield, that's fine. But I'm telling you that you're putting yourself at risk. I think the best chance a man has now in the world is to date, have a bunch of girls, date a bunch of girls, meet a bunch of girls, find the best one he can, and then perhaps settle down. But to sit and say, oh, I've met one now, I'm going to stop the game, you're going to get in trouble. That's why all these men end up in trouble. And let me tell you that the reason I tell about men to become financially successful is for two reasons. One, because you have a job as a man to protect and provide, and you can do neither of those things if you are broke. That's the first reason. And the second reason I actually preach to young men to become as financially successful as possible is a greater, broader reason. And I believe we've entered a very interesting stage in humanity where the matrix is finally cracked. 3 or 4 years ago, there were certain narratives you could not talk against. But with Elon Musk owning X, and now we have Rumble, we have a lot more information on the internet, people are starting to tell the truth about many different subjects. There's a whole bunch of them we can name. And I like the idea of people who are free thinking with a free mind, who are not matrix controlled, making as much money as possible because it takes money to win wars, and I want these people to be financially successful. That's why I tell all of my fans who believe in me to become as rich as possible because they understand that everything the government does is lie to them. We need finance.
What positive note can we give to people? Because if they do get the freedom of truth, how can we put that into a positive tone?
Yeah, absolutely. And the positive tone is completely to fall in love and have children and raise a stable family. That is the positive tone. I'm saying that it's a very dangerous battlefield now. When you were saying I feel sorry for the young people, so do I. It's hard now. Imagine being 15 with social medias and these kind of things. It's nuts. Imagine being a 19-year-old boy now. Every 19-year-old girl you're in love with is on Instagram dating 40-year-old billionaires. It's crazy. And I'm saying that a lot of the men who are the most heartbroken, who are most upset, people underestimate how important the relationship between a man and a woman is in the masculine life. I can tell you right now, you can give a man everything, but if he's arguing with his chick, he's fucked. His head's fucked. His head's fucked. It doesn't matter. It's so important. And I'm saying the best chance you have to negate these things is experience with women. You need a degree of experience as a man. Women innately want it. You see a woman who's unhappy with her boyfriend because he's simping or he's acting stupid or he just chases me around. Women will tell you themselves, he's boring, he's this. Yeah. It's true. You need to get to the point where you have enough abundance and you've been about the game long enough that you can say, that's a shit test, she's playing games, goodbye. You have to. And I'm saying the only way you can do that is with experience and abundance. So as a man, you need to do your thing, get to a point where you meet the one and settle down. But to sit and say that period where you do your thing isn't necessary, I completely disagree with that. I think you're gonna end up wrecked if you don't do it. So if you're out here as a man and you have no battle in your life, no conquest in your life, no form of war in your life, then what you do then? And it doesn't have to be physical. Physical is the best example of it. Every woman wants a boxer or a cage fighter. Of course you do. So every woman wants a boxer or a cage fighter, but this is the testament to the problem of the modern world, right? Every single man watching this knows that women want fighters. Every single man watching this would love to be able to say he's a fighter, but 99% of the men watching this will not go fight because they are afraid. They're all cowards. They'll make up every excuse under the sun. Oh, I was busy with my Bitcoin. Oh, You're all a bunch of pussies. They are pussies, all of them. That's all they are. They're pussies. And women can smell that. So if you want to have a woman who truly respects you, you need to put yourself through war in some form. Now, what most men do is they avoid physical confrontation because they're cowards, and they start doing physical confrontation. This is why men are so obsessed with money, because it's a degree of conquest. We can no longer walk the earth and conquer land, right? It's not like the olden days where we could just walk around as the Romans and just chop somebody up and take their land. So now we conquer the land financially. This is why men will work so hard to be a CEO and give up his whole life just to be a CEO, because then he gets to feel like he's conquering something. Men have that innate desire for conquest. So that's the second best thing, I guess, is to get rich. I mean, it's not a bad thing to be rich, certainly not. But if someone were to say to me, look, you have to build the archetype of an individual, you have to build a man from the ground up, and he has to be respected by both men and women, he'd be a dude getting in the cage, kicking the shit out of people. And every man knows this, and every man can do it. And I'm telling you now, the men I know who have the best relationships with women now are men who had a bunch of women. And I don't want to talk from personal experience because I don't give my details away, right? But the men I know who have the best relationship with women now are men who had a bunch of women. There are men who have had a bunch of women to choose from in the first place, so they choose a good one. Because if you have low choices at the beginning, then it's already a bad start, right? Men who had enough abundance to hold frame throughout the relationship, they're the men who have the best relationships. I know men who have done everything right from head to toe, from the absolute beginning, and guess what happened? And I know men who've done the opposite and it worked out pretty good. Now, I'm not saying that everyone should be degenerate. I'm against degeneracy. I understand that that families are the backbone of society. I believe a man has a role when he's in a family. I believe in the idea of a man and woman being together. I agree with all of that. But when someone watching this is 18 and we're sitting here saying, yeah, family, fall in love, and he meets some 18-year-old and falls in love with her, the chance of them making it, unfortunately, and it is unfortunate because I wish they would, is in the modern world with Instagram, with with everyone after his chick, when he's Joe Schmo and fucking I'm messaging her, it's over. And I'm saying the best advice you can give the guy is when he gets his heart broken and he's truly destroyed is you need to become a man that women don't leave. So you gotta get in the gym, and you gotta get more important, and you gotta get more women, and you just gotta become that guy. There's no other way to do it.